The bridge of the Krellix Dominion flagship was silent, except for the low hum of reactors and the soft tapping of holographic consoles. Stars drifted slowly beyond the armored viewport as the fleet maintained formation above the conquered world. Of Nareth 9, another victory, another species added to the long list of those who had bent the knee to the Dominion. Lieutenant Shah leaned forward at the sensor station, his mandibles twitching with mild boredom. "General, I'm detecting an anomaly at the edge of the system," he said, his tone routine. General Verkan did not look up from the tactical display. "Define anomaly," he replied, unimpressed. Shah adjusted the sensor gain, his frills flattening slightly. "It's a ship, sir, but its energy signature doesn't match any known faction." That caught the general's attention, and he slowly raised his head. "A scavenger," Verkan said dismissively. "Or a late trader fleeing the invasion." Shah hesitated, his voice tightening. "Negative, General. It's moving against our gravity well, fast." Several officers turned toward the main display as the unknown contact resolved into a sharp angular silhouette. The ship was not elegant like the Alari cruisers, nor organic like the Zinth biovessels. It was brutal, asymmetrical, and layered in thick armor plates scarred by past battles. "Magnify," Verkan ordered. The image expanded, revealing massive spinal cannons and missile bays running the length of the hull. Power readings spiked suddenly, causing warning glyphs to flare across the bridge. General Shah said, his voice now strained, "That ship just locked weapons on our forward line." Verkan straightened fully, mandibles spreading in irritation. "Who dares threaten a Dominion alone?" Before anyone could answer, a second contact appeared. Then a third, then dozens more. Ships tore into real space, in perfect formation. Their arrival violent and precise. Each vessel bore the same unmistakable design, heavy, angular, and built for war. Communications Officer Celis swallowed, her tendrils curling inward. "I'm receiving an open broadcast from the lead ship." Verkan gestured sharply. "Put it through." The bridge speakers crackled, then a deep, steady voice filled the room, calm but burning with restrained fury. "This is Admiral Hayes of the United Human Defense Fleet. You are occupying a protected world. You have 10 seconds to leave." A stunned silence followed, broken only by distant alarm tones. Verkan let out a harsh clicking laugh. "Humans," he scoffed, "an unregistered species with no seat on the Galactic Council, ZARs." Sensors screamed warnings as more human ships continued to arrive. "General," he whispered, fear creeping into his voice. "They're powering all weapons." Verkan stared at the display as unease finally crept into his many eyes. The Dominion had faced countless species before, but something about these ships, their formation, and the voice behind them felt different. Dangerously different. General Verkan had fought in 73 campaigns and crushed civilizations older than his own. Fear was not an emotion he recognized easily. Yet as the human fleet continued to assemble with terrifying discipline, an unfamiliar sensation crawled along his spine. "Report," Verkan barked, attempting to reassert control. Zar's hands shook. His data streamed across his console. Energy output exceeds Dominion dreadnoughts by 40%. Armor composition unknown but layered with kinetic dampeners. Celis spoke quietly, her voice barely steady. "General, archival records mention humans. They were classified as a low-threat species centuries ago." Verkan snapped his head toward her. "Then why are they here?" Celis hesitated, before continuing. "They were nearly wiped out during early expansion conflicts. The Council deemed them insignificant after their core worlds were burned." A low murmur spread across the bridge. Verkan's mandibles clicked slowly, then explained how a dead species fields a fleet like that. Before Celis could answer, the human voice returned. "Colder now. Dominion forces. This is your final warning. You attacked a world under human protection. Engines are hot. Weapons are free." Shah zoomed in on the lead human vessel. "General, their hull markings. They list battle honors." Verkan leaned closer as names scrolled into view. Sol, Luna, Titan, Mars, Earth, each name, accompanied by dates and casualty numbers. Millions lost. Billions displaced. Entire worlds reduced to ash. Celis gasped softly. "These are memorial ships." Verkan felt the weight of realization crash down upon him. "These aren't conquerors," he said slowly. "They're survivors." Human ships began to shift formation, moving with mechanical precision. Targeting locks flooded Dominion. Systems faster than countermeasures could respond. Alarms blared as forward shields buckled under probing fire. General Shah shouted, "They're not aiming at our fleet center. They're cutting off escape vectors." Verkan's eyes widened. They're hunting. A human frigate surged forward alone, unleashing a focused barrage that sliced a Dominion cruiser in half. The explosion was contained, surgical, and merciless. No wasted motion, no hesitation. Firkin slammed a claw into the command rail. All ships, return fire. The Dominion fleet responded, plasma and particle beams filling the void. But human countermeasures activated instantly. Shields flared, absorbed, adapted. Within seconds, 3 more Dominion ships went dark. The humans advanced relentlessly, their formation tightening like a noose. Celis whispered, terror unmistakable. General, what do humans want? Verkin stared at the burning wreckage of his fleet. Revenge, he answered quietly. The battle escalated beyond anything the Dominion had prepared for. Human ships moved like predators, each action deliberate, coordinated, and unforgiving. Every volley struck critical systems, leaving Dominion vessels crippled rather than destroyed at first. Verkin realized too late that this was intentional. They want us alive, he growled. To watch. A massive human battleship drifted forward, its silhouette blotting out stars behind it. Weapon ports opened along its hull like the jaws of some ancient beasts, energy readings spiked to catastrophic levels. General Shah cried out, that ship alone could shatter the planet. Firkin felt his confidence crumble. Why haven't they? He muttered. The answer came through. Open comes. We are not here to conquer, Admiral Hayes said, his voice echoing through the bridge. We are here to remind the galaxy. Humans do not forget. The battleship fired a single shot, not at the fleet, but into empty space beyond it. A star detonated into a controlled collapse, forming a brief artificial singularity. The display froze as the crew stared in disbelief. Celis trembled. They just destroyed a star. Verkin's voice was hoarse. They wanted us to see. Human. Marines began boarding disabled Dominion ships. Not slaughtering indiscriminately, but disabling weapons and securing crews. Every action precise, disciplined, terrifyingly restrained. Verkin opened a private channel, his pride finally broken. This is General Verkin of the Krelix Dominion. We surrender. The reply was immediate. Denied. The word struck harder than any weapon. Admiral Hayes continued. Surrender was an option, before you burned our colonies. Before you enslaved our people. Before you laughed. The Dominion flagship shuddered as EMP waves slammed into its systems. Lights flickered. Gravity failed. Crewmen screamed as the ship drifted powerless. Verkin clung to the rail, his world collapsing around him. Please, he said, the word tasting foreign. The human voice did not soften. We will leave survivors, so you can warn the others. Explosions rippled across the fleet as targeted strikes annihilated command vessels. Human ships advanced through the wreckage like executioners passing judgment. Shah sobbed openly now. General, he whispered. What are they? Closed his eyes as the Dominion he had served all his life burned. There are consequences, he replied. Emergency power flickered back online aboard the shattered flagship. Only a fraction of systems responded. Barely enough to maneuver. Verkin realized with dawning horror that the humans had allowed this deliberately. They're letting us run, Celis said weakly. Verkin scanned the tactical display. A single corridor remained open, narrow and obvious. A path of escape. The human fleet did not pursue immediately. They simply watched, holding position like silent judges. General Shah said, panic rising. What are your orders? Verkin hesitated only a moment. Take it, he snapped. Engage emergency. Jump. The damaged flagship lurched forward, engines screaming in protest. As it fled the battlefield, Verkin looked back one last time. The human fleet remained perfectly still, framed by the wreckage of the Dominion armada. Just before the jump engaged, a final transmission came through. Admiral Hayes' voice, calm and absolute. Run. Tell them we are awake. The jump tore reality apart, hurling the crippled ship into hyperspace. Silence fell over the bridge, broken only by sobs and sparking conduits. Verkin sank into the command throne. His empire reduced to ashes. He understood now. The humans were not a rising power. They were a reckoning. The survivors reached Dominion space days later, broken and terrified. Verkin delivered his report to the High Conclave with trembling clarity. Every detail, every loss, every word the humans had spoken. Panic spread faster than any fleet could. Travel, borders closed, invasions halted, war plans erased overnight. Whispers echoed through star systems like a growing storm. The humans had returned, and they were not happy. Monuments began appearing across the galaxy. Human memorial beacons marking worlds once destroyed, each broadcasting a simple message on all frequencies. We were here. We remember. No. Empire challenged them again. No fleet crossed their borders. The galaxy learned a lesson written in fire and fear. Do not mistake silence for weakness. Do not assume survival means surrender. And never forget what happens when humanity decides to answer back.